Breaking right now on Denver 7 News at 7 a.m. on Local 3, Hurricane Ian downgraded to a tropical storm overnight. But the storm is now fatal, and other states are now bracing for more damage, wind, and rain to come.
Here at home, we're learning more about disturbing allegations against two men working at a well-known soccer club for our youth, how victims are getting help, and advice for parents on how to talk to your kids about potential dangers.
Plus, a Colorado school district taking care of their students, teaching them real-world skills, and solving an ongoing affordable housing crisis in our state. Solving two problems with one solution
there's
here.
Big money in the trades if they stick with it.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Nicole Brady.
And I'm Brian Sanders. Want to help you get out the door this morning. Another pretty nice warm day ahead, Lisa.
Yeah, this is what you're walking out to, though. You can see with that sun now rising, it is bouncing off the buildings there in downtown, and it's a bright start to the day. Now at 7 o'clock, we're looking at upper 50s to low 60s. We have another really pretty more summer-like than fall-like day in store. Winds southwest at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. We'll get into the low 70s, so about 10 degrees warmer between now and 10 o'clock. And then another 10 degrees on top of that, low to even mid 80s for highs today. Denver's going to be right around 85 by 4 to 5 o'clock. Upper 70s near Castle Rock and Parker. More 60s to low 70s for the foothills. Evergreen 72. Now there will be some building cloud cover and a chance for a few isolated storms. Mainly dry though for eastern Colorado today. We'll see a better chance for some showers right here in town tomorrow. We'll take a closer look at this next shot of some fall-like weather here for the 1st of October, Jason, coming up.
We have a car on its side where it shouldn't be. Well, I don't think any car should really be on its side. This is going to be along 14th. 14th runs eastbound one way, and you see it crash into a couple of cars right here in Congress Park by Detroit Street. So basically between, let's say, Josephine and York Street coming on over to Colorado Boulevard. So you can go right up to Colfax to get around it. Tow trucks on scene, should be cleared maybe in the next 20 minutes. Take a look at the drive that we have out to the east side of town. We still have some pretty big delays northbound. Take a look from the camera back here at Iliff, and you still see some of those delays going up to Mississippi. Alameda is where the crash is, way over to the side, so the lanes are open, but the drive time is still pretty significant, 25 minutes there coming up. There was another report of a crash back here at Parker Road, but I'm not seeing it now. Almost back to normal on 6th Avenue after a crash we had right near Federal, and still looking pretty heavy on that north side and east side of town along I-70.
Well, we do have some breaking news this morning because we now know one person in the U.S. has died because of Ian. The Deltona 72-year-old man went out to drain his pool during the storm and was found in a canal. Ian was downgraded to a tropical storm overnight. Millions of people are still in harm's way. In fact, this is a live look at Jacksonville Beach on the east coast of Florida right now. Ian will push into the Atlantic today and then turn north along Georgia's coastline. Meanwhile, along the Gulf Coast where Ian made landfall, they are waking up to scenes like this in Fort Myers. Impassable roads, a lot of damage and debris scattered everywhere, and several roads were under feet of water. One
of the biggest problems right now also is this. A section of the bridge to Sanibel Island has been completely wiped out, cutting off access to the island except by boat. Fire and EMS service crews evacuated people Tuesday night, but anyone who was caught on the other side will have to be rescued. We are seeing some stories of amazing rescues here. Look at this from Orlando. A reporter named Tony Atkins rescued a woman who was trying to drive through severe floodwaters.
Oh my gosh.
The woman said she was on her way to work because she's a nurse and she felt she had to go do her job, but that's when she got stuck. So we have crews on the ground covering the latest for us right now. Here's ABC's Justin Finch from Tampa.
Good morning. As Ian moves out of Florida, the high risk remains for torrential rain, strong winds, and storm surging conditions. Astonishing sights out of southwest Florida, where Ian made landfall as a forceful Category 4 storm, whipping up walls of water in Fort Myers, swamping roads, leaving just the tops of cars visible. Just more than an hour later, those same cars completely covered, the water rising to reach treetops and roofs. Fort Myers Caloosahatchee River overflowing into the city, flooding a downtown area. South of that area, Ian's force snatching down power lines in downtown Naples. The Naples Fire Department fighting through floodwaters to rescue this trapped driver. This map showing how much of this area has been flooded by storm surge, with Ian still raging. Christopher Barcia has lived in Naples for nearly 30 years, recording this video as the water creeps up.
That house halfway underwater, there goes my car floating away.
Inland flooding, the deadliest component of hurricanes for the past 30 years. As Ian loses strength and moves northeast, President Biden warning Floridians.
The danger is real, and when the storm passes, the federal government's going to be there to help you recover.
Florida under a state of emergency, fast-tracking disaster relief resources. Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina also declaring states of emergency, with Ian forecast to move their way in just days. Ian's wind speed tied it at the 5th strongest hurricane to strike the U.S., along with several other storms. And this morning, Ian's impact still being felt. More than 2 million customers in Florida without electricity this morning, and 19,000 utility workers called in to make repairs to begin to restore that power. Justin Finch, ABC News, Tampa.
Well, utility workers from Xcel are sending a large team to Florida to help restore power to more than 2 million people who lost electricity overnight. So there are all the trucks. 270 workers are on their way now, including some from Colorado and New Mexico.
The storm is moving up the East Coast, as we mentioned. A state of emergency is in effect as far north as Virginia right now. Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina are all bracing for the impacts of Ian. Some breaking news here at home. 2 people were found shot in a church parking lot in Lone Tree. Police have confirmed to us that this was a domestic violence incident. They did not elaborate. Officials say the people were wounded, not dead, and currently there is no threat to the rest of the public. The scene is at the Word of Life Church on Park Meadows Drive near Yosemite. Police say it's still too early to tell if there's any connection to that church, but you may see that crime scene tape still up in that area.
2 Colorado Youth Soccer Club employees are now behind bars, arrested just weeks apart for virtually the same crime. Arapahoe County Sheriff's deputies first arrested 63-year-old Howard Bud Harper on August 10th, accusing him of sharing child pornography through the messaging app Kik. At the time, he was an age coordinator for Real Colorado Soccer Club and had also worked as a coach. Deputies have now arrested another employee of the same soccer club, 54-year-old Alberto Lemus Viers. He's accused of sharing child porn on Facebook. In both cases, the deputy sheriff says the content did not contain any of the soccer club players. Despite both men working for the same soccer club, Sheriff Bartman says it is just a coincidence. A spokesperson for Real Colorado told Denver 7 the men's arrest had nothing to do with the program itself. Both are suspended. Again, right now, investigators do not believe any soccer club members were involved. But if you are a victim, or if you know someone who is, contact the sheriff's office at the number at the bottom of your screen there. Also, for parents, it can be impossible to know the background of everyone your child comes into contact with. So we want to bring you some of the best advice out there from RAINN, the nation's largest anti-sexual violence organization. Says the most important thing you can do as a parent is to just keep an open line of communication with your kids. That can be key to knowing if your child has any reservations or is hearing rumors about a person in a position of trust. It's also important to encourage your child to speak up and to know their boundaries. If you or anyone you know needs to talk with a mental health professional, you can call Colorado Crisis Services. That number is on your screen. You can also text the word TALK to 38255.
Well, for years as an education reporter, I covered the movement to get students more skills for their careers while they're still in high school. Meanwhile, for years, we've also covered an affordable housing crisis in Colorado. I found out Boulder Valley Schools is doing something to address both those issues. Plans are in motion to build a factory on the campus of Boulder Technical Education Center, where construction will be brought indoors.
It starts simple enough.
I really like the saw.
Learning the equipment.
This is called a lathe. I do not know how to spell it.
But with every new skill and project, students at Boulder Tech are gaining experience for a career.
So why are you interested in construction?
I would like to be a general contractor out of high school.
These students are already earning OSHA certification and college credit while in high school.
It's a great situation that a lot of students are taking advantage of.
But future Boulder Tech students will be able to add something even bigger to their resumes, a whole house.
Our Boulder Tech students will be able to partner with Habitat for Humanity here in the city and in creating modular units that will be set on site in the north part of Boulder.
Modular construction is a growing industry. The city of Boulder sees the potential for it to address an affordable housing crisis.
Boulder's been experiencing this challenge for the past half century, basically.
The city bought the Ponderosa Mobile Home Park in North Boulder and hopes the modular homes students build can eventually replace aging mobile units. You'd never know these homes were built in a factory. And with modular construction, new units can be placed on a site in a matter of weeks rather than the years it can take to build 70 homes the traditional way.
One of the things that we hear all the time from the students is that they want the opportunity to give back. They want to see the impact of what they're doing and the positive impacts on the community.
Of course, they still have to build the factory. The hope is that will be done by 2024, giving future students real-world experience in a world where housing has become one of our most pressing needs.
The district and the city are still finalizing an agreement to annex the site on the campus where the modular home factory will be built. There is a community meeting tonight for neighbors to learn more about it.
If you need some coffee on your way into work, you might find it's free today. Which coffee chains are lightening the load on your wallet for National Coffee Day?
Hip hop, I hip it to the hip hop. You don't stop the rock to the bang bang boogie.
That iconic scene from the movie Wedding Singer sticks with us to this day, but there's a new woman taking on the title of Rapping Granny.